the biggest opposition to government failure, government corruption and oppression of the citizens of Nigeria has been the social media. Look around you. Which institution in Nigeria has not been eaten up by corruption? Which public organization actually exists to do the will of the public? None, to be honest. They have all been captured by the draconian APC rulers. The only platform that citizens have to express themselves and have their opinions heard is the social media. But now the APC government has a problem with that. They want to take away the voices of the people. And if you recall, this same social media was one of the major tools that the APC used to rise to power in 2015. It was social media that exposed the rising insecurity in Jonathan's government to the world. Particularly the Chibok girls issue. Social media exposed it to the world and Jonathan's government lost popularity, paving the way for the APC. They came in and became 10 times worse than the PDP. Buhari's regime was 10 times worse than Jonathan's regime. And now the APC is angry that the same social media is pointing out their failure. Buhari at a time completely shut down access to Twitter in this same country for several months before he removed the ban. Now, this Tinubu administration, after just 4.5 months in office, is saying the biggest problem in Nigeria is social media, and they are now passing a bill against it. As a matter of fact, the bill has passed the first reading. But Nigerians reacted angrily to this development because obviously it is oppression. It is clearly a response of APC to the good work that social media has done in exposing their lies and recently the certificate forgery saga. I'll show you the bill and how Nigerians reacted. But this tweet by Harry says, down the years, their children will see this video in disbelief. It will be so shameful, I'm telling you. And this tweet here says, it is obvious that Tinubu and APC's only playbook revolves around tribalism and divisive politics. How did this turn into a discussion about Peter Obi or the Igbos? This is about Nigeria and the stain on our nation's image caused by Tinubu's certificate forgery and identity theft. Simple. This tweet right here says, APC will hire bishops and imams to gather hungry people to give statements. No go hard them. And that is just it. That is just it. These are hungry people who were paid to give stupid statements. And this tweet by Idris says, PO will forever be him. They didn't have this energy for Atiku, who washed their president's stinking underwear in the full glare of the world. But see how the small statement PO made has ruffled all of them, and they never even break. Oh, ha ha ha. Yes, that is it. They know that His Excellency Peter Obi is the man of the people. Now, let's get to the issue of the federal government versus social media. Look at how the papers reported it. FG's major problem is social media. Bill to regulate it has scaled first reading. The National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, says a bill to regulate social media has passed the first reading at the National Assembly. NBC sponsored the bill to repeal and reenact the NBC Act Cap L11 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. NBC Director General Balarabe Ilela disclosed this on Tuesday when he hosted Information Minister Muhammad Idris at the Commission's headquarters, expressing his dissatisfaction that the current law does not give NBC the right to regulate social media. Mr. Ilela described the ills of social media as a monster. The NBC boss added, all these that are mentioned are not captured in the present act of the Commission. We have already submitted a bill to amend the act. One of our major problems now is social media. Unless there is a law that allows NBC to act on social media issues, the issue will continue to be a monster in our daily lives in this country. Imagine. Can you just imagine? Well, social media is a monster to you politicians because you have stolen enough money. To the average Nigerian, the monster is house rent. The monster is school fees. The monster is hunger, rising cost of goods and services, inflation, insecurity. Those are our monsters, not social media. And look at how Nigerians reacted. This tweet by Collins says, their deeds are evil, and yet they want no one to expose them. The same social media that was used against Jonathan. I tell you. Oluwashino here says, imagine your problem as a government is social media, not the poverty of your citizens, not the insecurity, not lack of adequate infrastructure, not the falling of Naira, but social media. I mean, if you want to tick for unseriousness, what else? What else? This is total unseriousness, complete uselessness. And this tweet by Jabbar says, social media is the reason dollar is 1,200. Bunch of useless people. Oh! And this tweet by Daniel Rega says, Nigeria has major pressing issues like insecurity problems, unemployment, lack of social amenities, and many more. But federal government's focus is trying to regulate social media because they dislike how the masses call them out. Their agenda will fail. No one can silence the people. No one. No one can silence the voices of the people. This tweet here says, a government who says social media is the problem has nothing tangible to offer. Renewed hope, my foot. Oh, this one enter. And this tweet says, this is dead on arrival. Social media is all we have. We will protest this draconian bill with all our might. And this tweet by No Case the Teacher says, they can only try, but it will not work. We are too loud to be silent. Now, this is more than enough proof that these guys are not ready to work. Because if you are ready to do the right thing and there is a platform that points out your mistake to you, shouldn't you be very happy with that platform? Of course you will be. Because that is where you go, you see your mistakes, then you go back and correct things. But these guys are not ready to work, and it's such a shame. With the rising insecurity, falling of the Naira, inflation, Nigerians are suffering, and these guys, all they want is for people to keep quiet. They don't want to hear any dissenting opinion.
So guys, according to the person controlling Bola Ahmed Tinubu's social media page, he said that Tinubu does not owe anybody reintroduction. This comes after Peter Obi during his World Press Conference speech called on Chief Bola Tinubu to reintroduce himself to Nigerians. Mind you, Peter Obi addressed Tinubu as Chief Bola Tinubu, and that is because he doesn't deserve the presidential title as per certificate forger and election rigger. Let me also add identity thief. So according to Peter Obi, he said Chief Bola Tinubu still owes Nigerians and the world a simple obligation, and I respectfully call on him to immediately perform a simple task. Reintroduce yourself. Let the world know your name, nationality, place of birth, parentage, primary and secondary schools he attended with dates, as well as the actual schools he attended and certificates obtained. He should also indicate where and when he did his NYSC, and if at any time he had a change of name, that is not a crime. So guys, those were the words said by Peter Obi. So guys, as you can see, Peter Obi chooses his words carefully in order to avoid any arrest by the government. At least, if you listen to his speech, you know that this guy didn't say anything. He didn't say anything that can make the government to arrest him. So it is left for the APC government to accept his speech and send Tinubu right away to come out and defend his documents. Let him reintroduce himself to the world, because everyone is now confused who their president is. You can't tell a primary 4 or primary 5-year-old, primary 4 or 5 is even too much. You can't tell a primary 2 or primary 3 child to write a comprehension about his or her president. What is he going to write about Tinubu's date of birth, Tinubu's name? You see, so only reintroduction and clarification can make everyone understand and make that little child to know who his or our president is. So that when we are asked about Tinubu, when everybody asks about Tinubu, we should be able to say one or two things about him correctly. Peter Obi is the most honest man I've ever seen since Nigeria got independent. He mentioned everywhere he went to school, both home and abroad, and he also said go and verify, and we did, we obeyed, and lo and behold, everything is correct. Even he gave and listed all he did while he was governor of Anambra State, and now to accept the challenge of showing or the reintroduction, he released his academic record, his resume, and positions held in the past. Please, we Nigerians are patiently and curiously waiting for Bola Ahmed Tinubu's reintroduction. If Supreme Court judges ignore the already established forgery with overwhelming evidence leveled against Chief Bola Tinubu, then the former the Speaker Honorable Salisu Buhari, I hope I got it right, and the former Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun, and many more, we have to sue Nigeria, both home and abroad, both international and local level. Supreme Court will either destroy our country or stabilize it. The outcome of wrong judgment will not only damage the reputation of Nigeria, but it's also going to put our democracy and every aspect of our lives under threat. All right, guys, this is where I'm going to end the video.